Well, first and foremost, Governor, I want to thank you for your leadership in this. It is very easy to say that you'll stay here when the cameras are gone, but you and your team, led by Kevin Guthrie, have been here every step of the way. So on behalf of the residents of Southwest Florida, we greatly appreciate your leadership here. A couple things. First, let's talk a little bit about what's happening federally, or let me say it better, what's not happening federally. There are provisions in the IRS code that should have been in place under Speaker Pelosi's leadership. She did not do that. And so myself and Senator Scott are now leading legislation to put back in the federal tax treatment for those who are trying to recover from disasters. We have filed that bill in both chambers. We're getting great responses from the relevant committee chairman in the House and the Senate. We think the prospects are good for getting that tax treatment put back into place, which Speaker Pelosi let slide out of place, so that the people can actually get the tax treatments from the IRS they're supposed to be getting, not just here in Southwest Florida, but all of the affected areas throughout the United States over the last 12 months. So that's something that we're working on at the federal level. Here locally, working with Mayor Smith, we were able to do what we could to get the post office back open down on Sanibel. That's stuff we've been doing at the federal level. But now let's talk about FEMA. Director Guthrie, I thank you for all of your hard work, and Governor, again, I thank you for all of yours. But there are still roughly 1,400 people who are displaced with respect to Hurricane Ian. And FEMA has been very, very slow, if not tepid, in their response to housing. Now, their big argument that they like to make is that, well, a lot of the affected area are in flood zones and they don't put trailers in the flood zones. But this is not a normal situation. This is an emergency situation. This is a recovery situation. I've had a very candid conversation with FEMA, and I'm having now a very public declaration towards FEMA to cut the red tape, to get people the housing that they need immediately. They shouldn't have to wait another 90 to 120 days. This is their estimate, not mine. They should not have to wait another 90 to 120 days to be able to get the housing that they so desperately need. We have about 200 residents who are now out of the area completely, simply because FEMA has not been able to respond to their needs as effectively as possible. So all told, the full number of displaced is around 1,500 to 1,600 residents throughout Southwest Florida. Enough is enough. I mean, we know we live in a flood zone. I mean, guess what? It's Southwest Florida. I mean, look behind you. We get that. But when people need help, they need help. We can easily move a trailer out of the area, FEMA, if we see a storm coming. We can do that. Heck, we built a bridge in 3 days. You think we move trailers out of the area? So it's time that FEMA just steps up, gets through the red tape, and we get down to business of getting people the homes that they need. And FEMA can do that. The White House can do that by just waiving the rules and getting the job done. So I'm calling on them to do exactly that. Second thing, and Kevin Guthrie actually alluded to it, is the sliding scale of 60 days to allow the inspectors that the state of Florida has brought forth to help our municipalities get back on their feet as quickly as possible. Yeah, we need FEMA to go ahead and do that too. We need the White House to approve that extension or that waiving of the rules, however you want to phrase it. Let's just get the job done. But we've also told FEMA that they were giving us one inspector a week. That's just simply not good enough. We have an area trying to get back on its feet. And so what they should be doing is requisiting whatever private assets necessary to bring private inspectors in so we can get our communities back on track. Look, there's a lot of hard work that's going to come through rebuilding. We all know this. Some of our areas are going to take a lot of time. We also know this. But what we don't need is a federal government that is standing behind red tape and regulatory policy and not just doing what needs to be done so that you guys, the people of Southwest Florida, can get things moving again. And so I'm asking for the White House and FEMA to just get out of the way of the silly stuff and the red tape. Let's just get the job done. You've seen a blueprint for it here in Florida with Governor Desantis and his leadership. This is about people, not politics and not budgets. Obviously, Washington does not have a problem spending money. I've seen that. But that's what we need to get the job done. And so that's what I'm asking for FEMA and the White House to do. Governor, once again, thank you so much for your leadership here in Southwest Florida. Thank you.